Hi there, Z here, and yeah, I know, okay, I get it. I've already reviewed this game twice now. I understand here, and by all means, I'm not trying to do the YouTuber thing where I just kind of try to milk the hell out of one living thing like a hot heifer on a good night. No. What I'm trying to do here is just kind of understand the single player game, because the last two times that I reviewed this, I glossed over them at best because, to be honest, they were not as interesting as I was hoping. So I just kind of glossed over them and said, yeah, they're in there. Let's keep moving on. But now I've heard that they've done things to them. Lots of things from what I've heard. They revamped them, they edited, they put some stuff in there. And you know what? Now I'm curious. And out of ideas for videos. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do a review of this, kind of beat by beat, and just kind of see if it's any good, you know what I mean? You know, I'll call it, Zach's Episodic Breakdown. I'm not going to call it that. No, that's awful. I'll call it something. I'm not calling it that, though. That was awful. I'm ashamed. So, just like any other video game, there has to be a disclaimer telling people to, don't go out in the middle of Canada and try to survive off the land in the middle of a really bad blizzard. Because it's 2019. And you know what really sucks? Is I can still see some neckbeards telling themselves, hey, how hard could it be? Only to turn into a lartsicle halfway from their parents' house to the fucking lift to take them to the airport. In my opinion, just let them go. If my people need to be cold, so be it. The weak will be gone, and then there will only be the strong neckbeards. Do it. And, it looks like they've actually put out some updates to the sandbox game, which includes, looks like new items, new maps, new clothing, healing items, overlays, and, looks like I'm gonna have to revisit this as well at some point, because there's a lot of new shit to this. But right now, we're just focusing on the single player mode, so let's get to that. So, best we start off at episode 1 because, yes, it is an episodic series. Thanks a lot, Telltale Games, for bringing us this cancer to mainstream. I'm glad you went out of business. And the first thing that I notice is the beginning is a lot different than I remember before. Oh, by the way, prepare to hear that a lot from me. It's been a couple years since I played the single player, so I will say things like, I think, and maybe last time, and fuck me, did I even play this before? Peppered in here and there. But yeah, the beginning cinematic wasn't really there before, and I'm 80% sure of that, and man, that is really well done. It really sets up everything nicely with like a creepy yet soothing song and the classic, the long dark brushstroke graphics, almost like the entire thing was painted instead of rendered on a computer. Ah, shit, I hope this doesn't copyright me, son of a bitch. So after that very alluring beginning, we have a sort of tutorial level that definitely wasn't there before. I know this for a fact. It shows the main protagonist, which would be you, name of Will Mackenzie, playing some cards and having a drink of whiskey or 7, we don't really know, but since I'm playing the game, it's probably 7. When he decides to check out the rest of the hangar, pretty standard tutorial things, gives you reasons to do things, to figure out how to play the game and whatnot when... single phone ringing. Let me tell you guys, I've seen a lot of movies and played a lot of video games. Nothing good ever comes from a single phone ringing in an empty office room. Believe me, it could be anything. Anything from Domino's forgot to put your order in, so you have to wait another 20 to 40 minutes, or your wife calling you to tell her to let her out of the shed in the backyard. It really could be anything, guys. And of course, it's not any different than with our boy Will, when Astrid, a woman that he's had a rough past with, comes in to ask him to fly her somewhere in the middle of a fucking snowstorm. And since this is the first interaction in this game, there are some weird things that I picked up on. First off, the acting, well, it's just okay.
And I wouldn't be here if it weren't important.
Well, what brings you...
I don't know if I'm just becoming less of a curmudgeon and then mediocre voice acting is just okay with me. I'm not really quite buying that these two know each other or have had troubles in the past or anything, but it doesn't sound like Tommy Wiseau directed these two either. And secondly, I don't know what the fuck is up with their lips, but it's like both of them have lockjaw. Which doesn't really make any sense because there are other characters later on in this game that you interact with, and they have completely functional mouths. They definitely show emotion, and they open up more than a fucking centimeter. But it's like the cold is preventing them from opening their mouths for any more than like an inch while talking, which I get it, Will. I could see why you divorced her. It's a blowjob reference! I'm on fire! And since this is a survival game called The Long Dark and not a cleaning simulator called Epic Plane Hangar Cleaners, of course we will have to brave the harsh elements to go and help her out. They talk, they drop a few more hints about them having a children and they were married in the past at some point and something happened to them when...
That is...
Aurora Borealis?
Weird thing happens, plane crashes down, wake up later, rip out metal from hand, and now we're finally into the actual game. And all this stuff is pretty much the same as it was before. You know, you make a fire to warm up, you boil up some drinking water, heal your hand, bandage it up, climb out of the ravine, and boom. Now we're right back to where we are at trying to figure out what's happening. And to be fair, it's still as interesting as it was before. Again, the voice acting is just so-so, you know, enough to keep the game going on. And with the Aurora Borealis attacking the world like a vindictive asshole, we have to figure out what is going on. Is God mad at us because we invented Fortnite dancing? Maybe the Earth is fighting back against all the anti-vaxxers. It could be either one of those two, or it could possibly maybe be that the Illuminati is finally initializing Code Plan Delta Indigo Charlie Kilo Rider and the whole planet is now... You know, it could be those first two things. Maybe it's nothing. You know, maybe it's nothing. It's definitely has nothing to do with the Illuminati or anybody like that. It's probably nothing. Let's just go on. And after following a bread trail of clues to find Astrid, dodging a wolf or two, and killing a few of Bambi's annoying friends for dinner, we finally get to our first destination, which is Milton. In this fine little city, you will find plenty of abandoned houses that you can loot to your heart's content, and one resident that apparently is doing the Bird Box challenge. Look here, lady, I know that you're not up to meme culture, but that's dead, okay? Get a faster internet service. This is Grey Mother. She's incapable of taking care of herself, obviously, so you decide to help her out by collecting wooden food that you find around the town and returning it to her for some information on what happened to the town and your friend. I would go more into details, but why give away the entire horse when I could just send you dick pics of said horse? You see, I learned that one from Pro Jared. Me and Pro Jared, we go way back here, and him and hundreds of thousands of other idiots from the internet who actually think anyone wants to see their dick and balls. Yeah, it's just a perfect way of just getting information from people. Absolutely. And look, like, you'll just have to play the game to find out exactly what happens, but I'll give you the short end of it. She's sad, you try to make her not sad, you make her not sad, she gives you climbing equipment to get further on in the game, and doesn't give you the gun that she has, even though she's blind and she doesn't need a fucking gun. You know who does need a gun? A capable guy like me who's going after the Aurora Borealis itself. But yeah, go ahead and you fucking keep it, you greedy bitch. Anyways, she's actually interesting. Her stories are interesting, her voice acting is above average without going into the great territory.
Now lead me to my memories, outsider. Go out there and find your friend. And don't stop to think about Milton or Grey Mother again. We're of the old world. This new world is for the strong to survive.
Overall, she's just a really interesting character, and I cannot remember if she was bad before or not, but I like what they did to this woman right now, so 2 thumbs up, let's keep going. Oh, you also meet this heavenly sounding piece of old aged meat right here.
Not a refugee from the highways, then. You look weary, traveler. Come, warm yourself by the fire.
Methuselah, if I had your voice, I might have more than 550 subs, but alas, I'm stuck with this Gilbert Gottfried quality shit, so I guess we're just gonna keep going on and pretend like we're happy. Besides the voice and the way that he speaks in semi-proverbs, not much is known about him at this time. I'm sure he's gonna be bigger later on in the other episodes, but right now, he's just a joy to have around whenever you actually get to him. There's also like minor things like a criminal that you find in a cabin who's just so bad and evil that he might as well have a top hat on and a wiry long mustache that he twirls while speaking.
People all hanging around trying to get warm after the power went out. All huddled together, scared and freezing. Oh man, I would like to have seen that.
And to be honest, the only thing as bad as him hurting people because I'm a bad guy and I gotta do bad things is the voice acting of said bad guy. Definitely the worst I've seen in the game so far. But lucky for us, we get to choose to kill him or not. And if you have a heart in your body, if you have a living soul that has been imbued on you by God himself, you'll end this performance as quickly as possible and jam that knife so deep into his liver that he'll be coughing up vodka. But you rope yourself out of there and keep traversing along this really interesting and atmospheric areas. You know, there's like this waterfall passage, you enter a creepy cave, you walk around the creepy cave, hearing like the howling wind. You leave the creepy cave. Oh shit, bear attack! Bear attack! Oh my god, he's got... Quick, grab the gun! Grab the gun! Will, grab the... What the fuck? What are you holding? No, you don't have a gun in your hand. What are you doing? What? Huh. Must have been an imaginary gun. Something tells me the next episode is not going to start off too well if I'm shooting a deranged bear with a gun powered by pixie dust and happy thoughts, but I'm excited to see where that goes. But yeah, that was the end of the episode right there. I know that when I just point out the key points, it doesn't seem to be all that interesting or, hell, even all that long. But that's because the other 4 to 6 hours of the game is just classic surviving the long dark style. Raiding pantries, boiling water, repairing clothing, getting attacked by fucking wolves, repairing the clothing again, and everything in between. And for those of you who have never heard of this game, this is by far my personal favorite survival game ever. I would say go look at my previous video, but that was so long ago, I'm a little bit ashamed of my older work. I'm not going to lie. But the whistling of the wind, the howling of the wolves, the crowing caws, the crunching of the snow, just everything just is so great that you can cook food and it boils and it actually sounds delicious. You can, there's changing winds. You can go inside and take a nap for 2 hours and be like, I'm so happy. Let's get back on the trail. Oh fuck, there's a blizzard all around me and I have to wait this shit out. But I have no food and I have nothing to heat the fire. I'm going to die here. And there goes 8 hours of my life. Everything about this game is amazing. It has been and it still is. I strongly suggest this to anyone who wants to buy it. And hey, if you guys want me to continue with this story, since part 2 is coming out and there'll be like I think there's like 5 parts of this episode, I would be happy to do so. If not, if you guys just want to do this one-off, I'm happy with that too. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for sticking with me and cheers.